ask you what you're doing, please, sir?
Oh, Inspector, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Can you identify yourself, please,
Inspector,
sir?
come over here,
Inspector
please.
Dice.
Can I ask you what you're doing, sir?
Taking a picture of these.
Right, why are you doing that?
Because I'm going to report them to professional standards and the council.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, look, absolutely disgusting. I've witnessed so many people having to walk onto the road and
Just let you know, I am recording at the moment.
Thanks for telling me, Inspector.
Okay.
I'm going to go
as a matter of courtesy, just let you know. Obviously, I don't know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a mask on. That could obviously be some reason for you hiding your identity. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a camera going as well that I can see. And you're taking photos of police station, police buildings. So I would ask you to desist on doing that, okay?
Really?
If you want to take photographs of police vehicles, that's fine. That's up to yourself.
What offence is it, please, if you don't mind me asking?
If you want to look it up, I don't know the full legislation, so I won't want to mislead you, but there is an offence of taking photographs within or of a public building. Like you can't do it of a court or within a court building. It's the same guys, the same legislation.
The scene shifts the moment the inspector arrives. He orders an auditor to stop recording the police complex, but gives no legal basis for the demand. That isn't sound policing. It suggests a step beyond his authority. Filming government buildings from public spaces is generally lawful unless it's connected to a specific crime, and no such crime is identified here. When asked to name an offense, the inspector doesn't provide one and suggests checking it later. That response underscores a core problem. Public officials can't rely on guesswork when rights are at stake. If an officer plans to limit someone's freedom to film, the law should be clear and cited on the spot. Knowing the rule comes before enforcing it.
So, what I was going to say to you is, obviously, you want to speak to people about the parking of vehicles, obviously. I'm quite happy for you to do that. What I will say to you is that if you want to forward details to professional standards, you can go direct them. It's up to yourself. Okay?
To be honest, Inspector, and I mean this with the utmost respect, I'm flabbergasted that you seem to think it's an offence, or there is an offence, to film public buildings, but you can't tell me what it is. I'm flabbergasted.
Why?
Well, the man of your experience, you look like you've been at job for a long time. You're an inspector.
You're obviously going to try and get a bite out of me, and you've got to
try and get a bite out of you.
What I'll say to you is there is a lot of legislation out there, okay?
Which I know.
You tell me what that legislation is.
Well, I don't need to tell you. You're an inspector, mate.
I've told you there's legislation that prevents people from taking photographs of public buildings.
Right.
Okay? I cannot quote the actual script here of the legislation, but I can tell you it's in place.
Stop talking about it.
Rather than acknowledge there's no legal basis, the inspector suggests a rule exists, then concedes he can't name it. That moment speaks volumes about the approach on display. In the UK, there is no blanket ban on filming police stations or other public buildings. Powers under counter-terrorism law, such as Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000, apply only when an officer has specific, reasonable suspicion linked to terrorism, not a general hunch. Recording from a public place is a protected activity. If an officer cannot point to the statute, explain it, and describe the threshold for using it, any attempt to stop filming risks stepping beyond lawful authority.
Right, okay.
I know what it is.
Well, you tell me then.
Stop talking about it.
Right, okay. What I say to you now is you are now getting to a level where you are now becoming a little bit obstructive and offensive.
Well,
okay. And I would ask you to leave the area. I've come up to you to ask you why you're taking photographs of a public building and police vehicles, okay? I've explained myself to you. I've told you I am. Can I ask who you are?
He's laughing at you.
Can I ask who you are?
Who are you? Identify yourself.
Can I ask who you are, please, first?
You don't have to indict.
Can I ask who you are, please?
So you've got an inspector here, and you're telling me you do not have to identify yourself?
Right. At the moment, I'm getting concerned more about your behaviour.
WK9N. So, Whiskey Kilo 9 November. He's the dog handler at Huddersfield Police Station.
Can I see your details, please?
Badge number 3092.
Under the College of Policing Code of Ethics, officers should give their name and collar number when asked. No fuss, no delay. In this incident, that didn't happen. The officer declined to identify himself, so the auditor had to move in and read the details directly from the uniform. That's poor practice and concerning. Refusing basic ID signals a reluctance to be accountable and a disregard for expected standards. Public confidence depends on openness, and this interaction failed the most basic test of transparency.
You see, Huntington. you'll be got a professional standard, sir.
Can I see your details, please?
No, you can't.
Right, okay. What I'm saying to you now is that you are also causing a bit of a problem here now, aren't you? We've asked you to leave, okay?
I'm on a public
I
footpath.
know you are. And you're obviously one of these people that want to come round
No.
and try and wind police officers up.
I'm just doing something other people don't have the balls to do, which is take pictures of police cars parked in just an absurd place. I mean, come on, who the hell is parked there?
Right.
Double yellow lines and double blips. Do you know what that means?
Right. If you want to take that further, regarding special standards, please do so. What I've asked you to do now is actually move on yourself.
You've got professional standards as well.
Fine.
And so is this guy here.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
At least you told me you recorded. And it's nice to see you don't have a gang badge on. You've got a gang badge on, so don't even look at me. I don't want to speak to you. Get rid of that, get yourself on eBay and get yourself one of these. $2.99 and wear it with pride. The Union Jack flag. Yeah, take that crap off, get a Union Jack.
I am starting to believe that you are now committing a racist incident. If you carry on being offensive, yeah.
I'm a British citizen.
I perceive this to be a racist matter now, okay? I would ask you to leave the area. I would ask you to leave the area, okay? Because you just offended me and my colleagues by saying that badges that we wear are offensive. I find that offensive and I believe that to be a racist behaviour. Please leave the area now.
In England,
okay?
I am wearing a Union Jack, so how's that racist?
The auditor criticized a thin blue line emblem and suggested using the Union Jack instead, an opinion he is entitled to express. The inspector quickly escalated, describing the exchange as a racist incident. UK guidance recognizes perception in hate-related reports, but decisions still require context and a clear link to protected characteristics. Critiquing a police symbol does not, on its face, target race, ethnicity, or nationality. The comment challenged what the emblem represents, not anyone's identity, framing that as racism risks misusing important protections and can chill lawful speech. Rather than address the substance of a lawful viewpoint, the inspector appeared to rely on a serious allegation to shut it down. That approach undermines transparency and suggests uncertainty about the legal basis for intervention.
I'm not saying you're saying that it's banned. You're saying that things that we wear we shouldn't be wearing. I find that offensive and I find that hate.
I'll tell you what I find offensive.
I want you to leave the area now, please.
20 years ago,
I want you to
police
leave the area.
officers were told they wasn't allowed to wear the Union Jack.
I want you to leave the area now, please.
Because it wasn't part of the uniform.
I want you to leave the area.
Why are you wearing gang badges? What makes it
I want you to leave the area now.
No.
Okay.
I'm on a public highway. I am on a public footpath being obstructed by 2 police vehicles. They're obstructing the path. I've got proof and evidence and somebody else recorded.
Can I take your details, please? Because I believe you may be committing offences now.
Committing an offence? Committing an offence?
Yeah, obstructing the highway.
No, these are obstructing the highway.
Offences in relation to...
Your police van's obstructing the highway.
Yeah, that is allowed to do because I'm dealing with an incident that's protecting me.
There's no incident to deal with. You came to me, and that's what we're doing.
I came to you because I was concerned about your behaviour, okay? And I am still concerned with behaviour. Bye-bye.
Don't wish to speak to you anymore.
Good.
Absolute muppet.
I find that offensive as well. That is your first warning regarding public order. If you call me a muppet again, I will arrest you, okay? Public order. Harassment allowed distress, okay?
Are you being serious?
No, I am very serious.
You are going to be very, very famous by the end of today, my friend. Very famous.
If you call me a muppet again, I will arrest you for...
Let me get out of the way, because now I'm obstructing the road. I'm going to prove to you now...
Calling me a muppet is offensive.
Officers are trained to handle sharp words in tense moments. It's part of the role and reflected in both law and police guidance. Hey, the inspector appears to take the remarks personally and responds by threatening arrest under Section 5 of the Public Order Act. That power applies only when word or behavior are likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress to a reasonable person. A single rude comment, without more, rarely meets that threshold. Professional standards call for restraint and resilience. Authority carries a duty to stay measured, not to react to irritation with the heaviest tool on the belt.
I am going to prove to you, Inspector, on camera, that
you're under arrest for harassment, alarm and distress.
Happy chances, that's done no wrong, mate. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. If you let go of me out, please.
No, you're under arrest.
You're going to be in a lot of trouble.
You're under caution. You don't have to say anything, but in my defence, if you don't have mention one question, something which will let you in court.
I'm not struggling.
Come through it.
I'm not struggling. You're going to punch me. Why are you pushing my arm further up my back?
I told you you're
And
under
I've
arrest.
told you yeah, I'm under arrest, but I'm not. I'm cooperating. So why the hell are you doing that to me back?
The van keys are in my back pocket if somebody could move it.
You're in a lot of trouble. Don't delete your body cam footage, Inspector, because I'll be making a subject access request. I'll be making a subject access request for your footage.
Take the seat.
Yeah, I'll turn.
The auditor didn't repeat the remark or escalate, yet the inspector went straight to detention with no clear legal trigger. No caution and no explanation, just a move that looked like silencing a critic. Escorting someone to a holding room without grounds isn't policing. It's a misuse of authority. The auditor's warning that there would be consequences felt justified. From that point, the inspector wasn't upholding the law. He appeared to be stepping outside it, and the camera recorded every moment.
Am I safe to turn the camera off?
Take it back.
Am I safe to turn the camera off?
You can do whatever you want.
Am I allowed to record in here?
Yeah.
Right, I'll turn it off.
I'm still recording though.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be making a subject access request. So please do not delete your footage. And before you ask, I haven't got anything on me what I shouldn't have. Everything you've just done is on my mate's camera. You are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. They're arresting me for taking pictures.
No.
Right, well, I don't need to speak to
Public
them until I speak to the solicitor.
Okay. Excuse me, no phone calls in here.
Can I let someone know I'm here?
No.
No, not on this, here.
No, we will do it once you get your
Yeah,
rights.
yeah, that's
Put
fine.
your phone down.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it.
Right, I'll take possession of them now.
Put it away. I need to put this
No.
on because it protects it.
Take your stuff off
You're going to
there.
break it. You're going to break your stuff.
Nobody's breaking anything.
Right.
Okay, I've told you.
All I wanted to do was to put them back on.
No,
No.
I've told you. Right, you're in custody, you're under arrest, you've been cautioned.
Right, I'll turn the camera off. Have you ever seen the Muppets, the Christmas special? Are you saying I can't say that word Muppet? Right. Afternoon, James.
So we haven't got his details yet. I haven't got a pen, but I'll quickly go through circumstances.
I'm not,
Just come over here, Kev.
I'm not going to give my details, mate. I'm not being awkward here.
Oh yeah, right, go on.
Okay.
Listen, this chap is going to tell me why you're here.
Yeah, of course.
This man had been arrested for Section 5 public order, harassment, alarm and distress. Basically, I was leaving the building at 25 past the hour when I saw this gentleman crouching down at the side of two police cars which are parked in front of the building on the pavement. I stopped my vehicle to approach him to try and find out what was going on, as we were concerned that it might have been some sort of terrorist type threat. And speaking to him, I've realised he's some sort of video YouTuber and he's filming the building and the cars. I advised him regarding filming of public building. He said he was filming the obstruction of the vehicles on the path. He's then started becoming abusive to one of my colleagues because of a badge that he was wearing. I've asked him to stop. I advised him that I felt it caused myself harassment, alarm and distress. At that point, he's then started obstructing the middle of the highway, and I told him to leave the area, at which point he started calling me a muppet, which I found harassment, alarm and distress. So I've arrested him at that point for that offence, for the prompt and effective investigation of it, to prevent his disappearance and to establish his identity, which I couldn't at that time. Once we establish his ID, etc., we can turn him round. I'm more than happy with that.
Do you understand the allegation?
Yeah, I'm not going to start being awkward. I understand it. Yeah. I don't agree with it.
Crime.
I understand it.
Obviously, you can't go around doing that, and obviously the consequences of what happened and things like that.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously, you've been here around hours, but we obviously need to process you and figure out exactly who you are and all that kind of thing. I can't let you go without knowing who you are, unfortunately.
We'll have to fingerprint you anyway, so if you're on systems, you'd come up anyway, so you might as well tell us now anyway.
As the auditor is escorted from the detention room to the front counter, the inspector tries to reshape the narrative. The problem is, the video tells a different story. What we see is an apparent overreach by someone who should know the limits of their powers. It began with an improper challenge to lawful photography. Then came a claim about a non-specific statute, one the inspector couldn't actually cite. When identification was requested, another officer declined, forcing the auditor to read the name and collar number directly. The pattern only escalated. The lowest point arrived when criticism of the thin blue line emblem was labeled a racist incident. That criticism targets a symbol, not a protected identity. Using such a serious allegation to shut down a lawful opinion distorts safeguards meant to address real discrimination. Moments later, a mild insult prompted a threat of arrest under Section 5 of the Public Order Act. That power is meant for words or behavior likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress to a reasonable person, not to shield officials from hurt feelings. There was no clear warning and no clear legal threshold met before detention followed. This wasn't just a tense exchange. It was a senior officer, someone expected to set the standard, acting in a way that looked driven by pride and pressure rather than training and law. That's a breakdown in the basics of professionalism and accountability. And it underlines why cameras, auditors, and public scrutiny matter. If this is how events unfold on camera, the need for transparency when they are not recording is even greater. That's today's report. If this coverage helped, please like, comment, and subscribe so we can keep doing this work. Also check out Auditing Yorkshire, link in the description, and show some support.